Руководство пользователя. Russian section. Who knew? We've got all the components. We've got the laser. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let's pull out the components. We will need this. That I presume is the controller. That I presume is the left section. That is the back of it. That goes here. Nice. Good. It's a definitely solid construction here, so I'm going to fold into some kind of weird parallelogram.
Well, yeah, it needs to be since it's got a 70-watt laser racing around.
Indeed.
Unenclosed. What was involved in like setting up the the cutters that are already here, like the big unit ones?
Ooh, we had to disassemble the entire laser cutter that we have downstairs, because it was not fitting through the doors and all.
Oh right, how was that?
That was 500 kilograms.
Really?
Yeah, it is 500 kilograms surprisingly, and
but it's more dense than water, and it's mostly empty space. Like, what's in there?
I don't know. Chinese engineering. The next is to bring in the country. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Also, we're in Scotland. Not too bad at all is the highest praise. Not too shabby is the second one.
Imagine a lot of the engineering and design work went into making this fabricatable by anybody.
Indeed.
Or at least assemblable by people who didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
With a weapons grade particle beam on the end of it. What kind of tolerances are we looking for?
I think that if you are within 0.2 millimeter, we are going to be absolutely fine. Because you wouldn't expect better accuracy than 0.2 millimeter on a half meter section.
Mm.
Yeah. 74.83, 74.66. So we are
0.17.
pretty much 0.15 of a millimeter off. I think that is very acceptable. Beautiful. But this is our laser, and it is a hefty piece of kit. Let's see how it attaches. This has a happy quantity of play.
Does that not get locked down by the grub screws?
Well, we will see.
I mean, yeah, there's too much play for it to be the final situation.
I suspect that if this all hanging well,
it doesn't wobble
and doesn't wobble and doesn't move too fast, then it is going to be absolutely fine. But if it starts to move too quickly, it might give us a little bit of a jitter. We will see. I suspect that this is air pump.
Like, it doesn't have like a hose out. It just.
Well, this is the hose out.
That's the
and
hose.
it goes all the way in. And
that's the hose in.
Yeah.
So it's not like a hose out. You can run out the window.
No. It's nicely a tub. Satisfying.
ASMR.
Yeah, and the laser arrived with European connector. However, I do have a British one. British plugs are the marvel of engineering.
The only British thing that is.
They are extremely safe. Not when you step on them.
It's plugged in. Oh, well.
Input
that
36.
Well, then what is? Oh, so that there
That
is output 12 volts.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Tucked in that way.
This is the cable. It's not marked in the manual, but with the power of
collective
thinking.
imaginations.
Yeah.
Deductive
We
reasoning.
found where it goes.
And basic literacy.
And it goes into the output 12 volts, and it plugs into 12 volts on the pump. Woohoo!
Oh, damn. This one that we don't know where it goes, does it maybe go into the screen?
No,
that's
screen is
HDMI.
Screen is HDMI, and here's the connector for screen.
Damn, what resolution is this screen?
I have my high hopes, and you can see that there is this.
It just hangs loose in the manual.
Yeah, hangs loose in the manual.
Maybe it's for extra.
Just there.
Oh, it's probably for extra add-on modules like
Maybe in the
webcams,
future.
and
Definitely.
they probably should say that in the manual.
Definitely. But yeah, good thinking. According to this blog, this laser has a very long focal length.
So it's
And
20.
The throat of the laser, is actually, capable of.
Is it that way or is it that way?
It is that way. You, I presume, set it like this, and you can drop it until you.
Because it's got that collimated beam.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and you can engrave on the lower section, and you
That's
can
for like-
cut much deeper.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Well, like on YouTube videos about it, like they were cutting through like 25, 50 mil plywood blocks, and it was like a good clean cut the whole way through.
I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah, it's impressive if it's true, which it seems to be. We'll find out.
Let's there be light.
70 watts of it.
And nothing happens. Whoa! Even shinier. Would you like Russian for language?
No. Control yourself.
I'm planning to poke these things until they start working, and then I desperately will read the manual.
When your bench is on fire.
Nope. Okay, I give up. I'm reading the manual. How do you move the laser? The configuration and everything. You need to import the configuration onto the machine. I would hope that it's already imported, and that is how to run it from ledger.
You only have one pair of safety glasses.
Yeah, we will cut it in half, and I will close left eye, and you will close the right eye. It seems that all of the controls of the actual software are
In the
on
software.
the computer. Yeah. Keep in mind that I use Graphene OS. Which
Oh, is your
I
nerd
hope
predilections gonna like get in the way of things again?
maybe. OX70 Max.
It's not the Max. That's the one that they wanted to send us, but like the courier couldn't handle it, so like we got this one instead.
Mobile app. Download AtomStack app for the Apple and Android users, and then nothing.
Is it
Let's
WEP
check.
or WPS? Because if it's the former, we can just hack it in less time than it's going to take to find out.
Indeed. Yeah.
I miss WEP.
Hey!
Hey!
Hooray! And let's now
Go to Origin.
go to home.
Hot shit.
Oh! Hey! Fine. Let's grab something we can engrave on.
Training wheels are off. Got a fire extinguisher, right?
Who needs a fire extinguisher?
Fires do.
Well, we have the blanket. We have the fire blanket. So
Where?
let's put it. It's at the entrance. So
Cool.
we should be fine. Yeah. Well. Okay. Safety first. Put your glasses on.
Okay, safety squints for you.
Yeah. I squinted very hard. Let's press fire. And see what it's going to do. Oh, now we're making some smoke.
The window's very effective at blowing the smoke directly into the room.
This thing definitely needs. I think we need to stop it. Sorry. I think we need to stop it. Enough. we may have the fire alarm,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. And that's with it like on like not fine resolution.
yep, we will need to have a proper extraction out of this thing with a lateral fan flow and maybe even a little bit of filter. I always wanted to build an extraction and the air management system for laser.
It's true, you have.
Yeah.
Do we need a filter if we're just like blasting it outside?
I wanna do the filtering before blasting outside because
To save
I wanna
outside.
be nice to the environment.
Looks about 1.5 mil.
Exactly right.
God damn.
And it is definitely a very narrow beam waist
Yeah.
as it goes, and I can easily believe because we've done it about 15 millimeters off, and it was still giving us very very fine lines. So I can easily believe that this thing is going to be able to penetrate through quite a high depth.
Deep sharp cuts.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I want to test for the metals and for the actual plastic parts. Well, let's cut through this very same thing. Like just some, random DXF stuff.
It's kind of amusing how we're treating this like a bench saw that we got second hand on Marketplace and like to chuck some wood under there, and it's like an 1,800 pound
fine.
laser cutter of death.
Let's ramp up the power to 100, and let's ramp up the speed to 1,000.
Oh, so you're going to cut the wood, or you're going to put acrylic in
I'm gonna
there?
cut the wood, and I'm gonna see
How deep it goes.
this, yeah, essentially. And let's press
Wait.
Ooh. Whoa,
That was fast.
that was fast. And you know what? It felt like some kind of, proper cut.
Didn't go through that.
Let's do the one on the edge, so we could actually, chip it a bit.
Wet, yep.
How does it do?
Halfway.
That is not bad at all.
Jesus.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Ha!
That was fast.
That was fast. that
Cutting
was
through
proper,
like what? 12 mil of plywood. I mean, pine.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, we have to think about the smoke because like it's
Definitely to think about smoke because it just.
Actually, I'm kind of alarmed that your systems haven't gone off because like
We were specifically asking them to make the alarm to be
heat.
lower on heat, and
Oh.
it's essentially sensitive to fire.
Because you do
yeah.
so much cutting in here.
Yeah, and because the previous guys who were working here, they were producing smoke, they were producing steam, but it would still trigger the alarm.
What are they doing?
Oh, I can't remember exactly, but that was some kind of motors and bits and bobs
Yeah.
and stuff. Hey, that is lovely.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely need recirculating air on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning the fumes off, and that would add, I don't know, maybe 20-30 centimeters to the height. Enclosed box, so you don't have to wear your glasses.
Box
and
of what?
fresh air. There is actually a special laser material. There is a special acrylic that is tuned down, like attenuated enough to be used in lasers. And yeah.
By the time we've like built
Yeah,
a whole
fresh
box
air.
around it, it's no longer really a bench top if we're like having to build an entire enclosure for it, putting down a cutting surface and like building our own ventilation system.
That is true.
Like all they've sold us is like
If you
half of a
recirculate the
laser
air,
cutter.
I would say that if you buy a normal CO2 laser, you have to have all of that it would have to be standing on the floor. It would be, you know, the height of,
Well, I mean, like the one downstairs.
yeah, like the one downstairs. You know, you would also have to have a chiller,
Right.
which is an additional box, you know, size half of that, and you would need to have a ventilation system for the outside. But I think it is naive to expect that lasers can run without a proper ventilation system.
Yeah. Like, I mean, unless this is in someone's garage with the door open, which maybe that's
Or
the
maybe
standard
even
use case.
outdoors, which is fair case. However, I think that if we build a little bit around it and do this whole thing with external box, because like, look, you know, the screen is out. I mean, it's kind of useless because, you know, you don't have any kind of controls in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good to see that this, you know, lights up. Therefore, you know, the machine is open and functional. Yeah.
I really like how retro this one LED is. It's like that LED is from the 80s.
Yeah, that's the fire LED. If you get fire, yeah, it's automatically detected. That's fantastic.
Spin around like a little siren.
Mm.
Funny we had some way of cutting all the plywood and acrylic that we're going to need for this project.
Yeah, if you cover the fire alarm, just the whole thing.
Don't enclose the printer, don't enclose ourselves, just enclose that one fire alarm.
Yeah. I feel that this is a bit too small.
It's sort of ridiculously small. This isn't even like the big cutter version, this is a
Yeah.
small option. I'm not sure why the cutting bed is ridiculously
Let's see.
tiny. Maybe they just sent me the tiny
Yeah.
option. It came from Germany, and like the Germans are really having difficulty sending in
Yeah,
quite a large
400
package.
by 400. This is 500 by 500, isn't it?
540 by 650 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will still be able to do something.
Should
Move
we-
out of the way.
Take those clips off because like there's a strong chance
Yeah.
of like those wing nuts hitting. I still don't know what they're supposed to be for.
Yeah, let's. I feel that these things are for holding your work piece.
I mean, they surely must be, but I don't see as they do a very good job of it.
Yeah, I really like the actual laser, you know, head, but yeah, the table is could be improved.
Some interesting design decisions made.
Uh-huh. Let me put the fun in place. Yes, and please.
Well, it's definitely. I mean, we're just doing like a quick pass,
Yeah.
but it's gonna smoke, yes. So we've got. These will definitely take off after we finish, for obvious reasons.
Yep. You.
You can see the beam and the smoke. It's very tight.
That's better. Yeah. It's,
A lot less
yeah.
like surrounding char.
Yeah, and you can see that the edge, like, look.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does not add anything to.
Yeah, there's barely any smudge
Yeah.
around it on that one, and it's still
Yeah.
like not optimized.
I think we are going to be fine there.
It's such a tight beam though. Like, how critical is the focus?
It seems to be surprisingly not very critical, but yeah, that's the engraving on this thing.
Give her.
Pew! Yeah, let's put the
So it's 8 minutes, 21 seconds.
for about 10 centimeter, 5-6 centimeter engraving at very fine resolution.
Yeah, super fine. You can still see the lines on the deeper cuts,
Mm.
but even then only sort of barely. Reasonable color contrast.
Mm.
Great.
Yeah. Shall we now do some stainless steel?
Yeah, see what it'll do.
I will see if I have any. This is going to be crazy.
Let's go
Ready?
hide in the corner without facing a
Yeah.
mesh bag.
Okay. Protective equipment on.
I'm just getting the fuck out.
Then give me protective equipment.
safe.
First of all, you see how it worked the hell out of it.
Yeah,
It's quite hot.
So what is it? Did it cut through or what?
I don't think it cut through, but it definitely done stuff to it. And like you can see the back of it is discolored, so it was actually heating up. That was 100% power, 100 millimeter per speed.
Oh yeah, made a hell of a.
Yeah.
That's got like halfway through. Do you want to do multiple fast passes if it's like heating up and buckling that much?
Yeah, the multiple passes might work too.
Just for the record, I have like my hand over my eyes. I'm not looking through the window.
The alarm is flame detected. We have an alarm, and the alarm is that the flame was detected. This is definitely. Well, I mean, I presume.
But on the on the laser, not the building.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Okay. So what did it?
It's definitely. Yeah, I can feel it on the back. Like feel it with your finger.
Is that that's the
back.
That's the back. What did it do to
Yeah.
the front?
It definitely tries.
So maybe do it like manual part. Like do like 5 manual passes. Wait. Go.
Pause,
Wait. Yeah.
It's definitely trying, but still no.
I mean, another couple of passes would do it, no?
I think so, yeah.
It's not quite breached, but it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Is it not on yet? Is it not just ablate a certain amount per pass?
Not really.
What happens at deeper?
The deeper it is, the more ability it has to dissipate the heat.
So it just wicks the energy out thermally.
Yeah. It makes like a tiny flame as it goes around, but no. 0.5 millimeter stainless steel, shiny.
All right. Well, we found the limit.
I don't know.
Damn close though.
Yeah. Huh. I like it. It actually looks really nice at the angle. Let's go downstairs to a microscope.
Oh yeah.
Look at it through a microscope.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
It's gonna be interesting.
Good. So it's like a pulse and then a brrrr and then off, and a strong pulse on and then a brrrr. So one thing about this laser cutter is that red marking laser is basically just lies. The actual cutting laser is about 20 mil off. Why? I don't know. It's really annoying and it caused me to do the thing wrong first time. Also, the software is really annoying. It's only got one layer as far as I can tell for all the bitmap and one layer for all the line. And every time you import a new line on your bitmap, it resets all the power and speed settings for that one layer. So basically you've got to write everything down externally. Everything always keeps on coming backwards and forwards in the layer order. If you select anything, it jumps to the front and then you can't see what you're working on. The software is actually shit. I should have been using Lightburn, but I've sort of got the hang of this now, so I'm going to persevere with it, even though I really don't like it. Another thing about this software is when it says absolute coordinates and that it's just going to cut at the part of the cutting surface as per the layout. Lies. It just goes from wherever it stopped last time. Also, just in terms of CNC, this is the least efficient possible path optimization algorithm. Basically spends more time traveling than cutting. Sick. So it's cut through the leather mostly. It took a few passes, but I think it just wasn't giving it enough oomph. That's pretty good. Happy with that. Check Check it out.
Oh, that looks great. Oh, oh, beautiful. It smells a lot like old leather, but
Yeah, like it's veg tan and not like chrome tan, or that would be
oh, that would
toxic.
be, the proper.
So now I'm going to emboss that, vacuum seal it, and saddle stitch it, and it will be kukri sheath. And rivet on like a belt loop there.
Probably would benefit from a bit of washing.
Yeah, well,
Is it washable?
yeah, it's veg tan leather, so I'll use water to form it.
No, I'm good with it. That looks good.
3D printed embossing plate stamp. Thanks to DP for sending me these 3D printing filament vacuum seal bags, which are perfect for vacuum forming leather.
With a bit of work and a bit of work on kinematics and the airflow around it, it's possible to make this laser into, pretty much, better than what you have in terms of CO2. But at the moment, the laser is kind of large on the outside and has relatively small working
Cutting area
on the inside, yes, and the airflow management is pretty much non-existent. All the fumes that are produced are kind of recirculated and pushed into the either room if it is freestanding or into the compartment if it is boxed, and it would require a significant amount of ventilation in order to get rid of all of these fumes. But there are ways how to improve these things and make them work.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's sort of like the cutting surface you have to buy extra, and if you don't have one, then how you're supposed to not set fire to like your entire bench, I'm not sure.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then the cutting surface that they do have is like smaller than the cutting area of the laser. You gotta like line it up by eye. It doesn't like notch into anything.
Yeah,
it's
the thing that I found a bit frustrating is the fact that the cooling system of the laser head is partly combined with the fume extraction, and as a result, the big fans on the back, they are blowing and spreading the fumes everywhere. If there would be a specific collector, for example, and the fumes would be pushed into that specific direction, it would help a lot.
Yeah.
If there would be a system of recirculation with a kind of rough filtration within the compartment, you could actually keep filtering the air inside and only bleed a little bit of it outside through a very dense filter. Otherwise you're essentially forced to keep it either in an open room, in a room with open windows, or you have to have an enclosure, and you have to put a proper kind of standard ventilation system that just blows all the way from that enclosure.
And then it's not a benchtop laser anymore. It's just an enclosed unit like any other, basically, which you have to make yourself.
And
I guess it's for like the suburban garage with like the door open, and then kind of like go out and have a cup of tea while it does its thing. But if it catches fire, then you still have to keep an eye on it.
It has the
it does have flame. Yeah, I've tripped that off a few times, like the flame detector, and that works well. That's fine.
The other thing that I found, to be really good is the fact that the length of the waist of the beam is really deep. Which means that the beam remains quite narrow for a very.
It's super collimated like the whole way down. Like, it's got an autofocus, which is nice, but it doesn't really need it. It just cuts to arbitrary length.
If I would be building this laser, what I would do, I would essentially make the whole head quite a lot lighter, because I would get rid of all of the heat sinks and so on. I would replace the air heat sinks with water cooling. I would make the system water cooled.
Mm.
It would affect, that would create some problems in terms of you would need to, route the water pipes, and all of that. You need to have some kind of hoses and all of that. But at the same time, it would make the head quite significantly smaller and quite significantly lighter. The other thing is that in this case, when you pump the air into the laser head and into the lens, you would not need to have this external kind of, fans blowing, the fumes everywhere, which would allow you to extract or put some kind of, fan that would direct the fumes in a kind of concentrated and more kind of calm way out of the enclosure. And
I mean, could you do like a suction fan and just like suck the smoke up?
You can do this, yes, and this way you can actually reduce the requirements for ventilation, and the whole thing would become quite a lot quieter and quite a lot better overall.
I mean, that was what I assumed that it had. It's got like the air pump mover and then like the hose that blows out. I assumed that was like a suck, and then I was like looking for the feed from the pump that you put out the window, but that's not what they've decided to do.
It's generally a good idea to have a separate pump and filter and so on whenever you blow on the lens, because keep in mind that there is 70 watts of optical power that goes through that lens.
Yeah, if it builds up with a layer, it's going to catch fire.
And for that you want to have a source of fresh air, even in small quantity but at higher pressure. But for the general evacuation of the fumes, you want to have a rough filter sitting probably underneath the enclosure, and just recirculating the air through the enclosure, keeping it optically clear, but not without the smell. And then have a separate filter and a separate fan that would constantly bleed the air out, creating the negative pressure within the enclosure. So again, there would not be any smell. And this way you can actually make this laser to be indoor laser and without smell, and significantly better.
Yeah.
The other thing is the kinematics on it. Like there is a rail that goes like this and like this on the sides, which is vertical. And there is a big head. The motor that drives this whole thing is placed here, but this head is rested on another rail, which is for some reason is horizontal. And I don't understand why. Because it is horizontal, it is a different type of rail, and it doesn't have to be, because if I would be building it, I would make two rails like this, one identical rail like that.
It takes up a lot of space, that rail, in order to be like more deflectable.
I don't know why, because
it's
if
weird.
you do it vertical, vertical, and vertical like this, you can easily save about 5 centimeters of space, or make your cutting area 5 centimeters bigger. And then, if you remove the motor, and you move it to the other side or to the other side of the enclosure, then you can save another 5 centimeters from that motor, and boom, instantly you have now a cutting area which is 10 centimeters deeper in this direction, without actually changing the dimensions of the outer dimensions of
and the whole thing is more rigid.
And the whole thing is more rigid, and then it will work quite a lot better. And if you make a water-cooled head, then instantly you have a smaller head, which saves you another, 5 centimeters or so, and then boom,
and you've already got a hose running air to the head, so like it's no extra to plug in.
Exactly. The only reason why they would do it the way they've done it is because if you have a water cooling, you would either have to prime the system, once you assembled it, or you would have to have the laser head connected to the water cooling, that is sitting separately, and you would need to monitor that there is a constant flow of water through the water cooler. However, I mean, it's solved problem. We have all these water-cooled, computers. They just
work.
Yeah,
just hack some server cooling hardware onto it.
I'm thinking about actually trying to rebuild.
Do that.
Yeah, to rebuild the laser a bit and make it pretty much identical size from the outside, but somehow I feel that the working envelope of 700 millimeters deep by 500 millimeters wide sounds to me like a better kind of proposition. And the software is it open source? I mean, the AtomStack seems to be some somewhat.
Don't use that software. The software is bad. I
But
do not like that software. It's like it does the job, but like a lot of their design decisions are just weird and bad. Like the interface and just like the sort of like the user experience side of it is just like it's been designed by people who haven't exactly optimized for user experience. I would have used Lightburn from the start if I'd known that there's going to be like basic, like it works. It's like the whole thing. It works. It's fine. The worst of it is functional, and the best of it is actually very good.
Yeah.
So happy with it. It's just kind of wish it was a bit more elegant.
Indeed.